I wouldn't be here if not for your son.
You call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust? Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
There's a lot of hubris around here lately, and I don't care for it.
Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
No argument here.
Nice to meet someone who isn't obsessed with replacing people with machines. I've been saying for years that we're too reliant on these synths, but nobody wants to listen. Maybe you can talk some sense into them. In any case, I suppose I should say, welcome. Perhaps a fresh perspective will do some good around here.
Welcome to the Institute, sir.
Operating at full capacity.
Excuse me.
Greetings, sir.
I think he's actually lost his mind. I can't believe he really expects me to do this. I've always been on board with the Gen 3 program. It makes sense, but this? Nothing good can come from this. How am I supposed to explain to my staff that Sean wants a child synth for no immediately apparent valid line of research? And to base the physical features off records of his own childhood? It defies all logic. No, I can't do this. I won't.
Yeah?
Excuse me.
As the Institute's first personal synth, I try to set a good example.
If all personal synths are as good looking as you, I should get one for myself.
Why, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. I don't know that I can be of much help with that, but the compliment has certainly made my day. It was a real pleasure to meet you. I'm sure you're still taking everything in, so I'll let you get back to that.
Eve.
Yes? 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 Huh? Yeah?
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial, then. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
I'm trying to learn chess. but the computer always beats me.
There. All done. You can return to your duties. And remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm. I have to admit, the third-generation synths are really something. Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. No hurry, though.
You're the doctor here?
Everyone's a doctor here. But if you mean physician, then yes, I'm about as close as we've got to one. How about you take some time to get comfortable, learn the lay of the land and such. In the meantime, you come see me if you need to get patched up. We'll do that checkup when you're good and ready. Take care of yourself, so I don't have to.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a comfortable and productive life. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Newton.
I hope all your needs are being seen to. You just let me know if they're not.
Nothing to report, sir.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package.
Report anything suspicious to the
Maybe
SRB.
I should take some courses with me. You know, send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
Hey there.
I swear I spend half my time smoothing the feathers that Justin ruffles. We need to be able to collaborate with the other divisions, and that's a lot harder when they're always angry at us.
What's Justin doing that's causing friction?
Oh, he's just pushy and demanding. He thinks his problem should be everyone's biggest concern. I have to admit, though, the other divisions have never taken our needs as seriously as they should. I guess they see us as a necessary evil or something. It's really not fair. Oh, just listen to me. It's the first chance we've had to get acquainted, and all I want to do is complain. In any case, it was good to meet you.
Ilana.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Hey.
Hello.
Constant vigilance is vital to preventing synth escapes.
Doctor.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity.
I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider.
The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you.
Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths, they might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Why does it matter?
If there is some defect in Courser combat programming, then it must be identified and corrected. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
If you're the acting head of the ESRB, who are you filling in for?
Dr. Zimmer holds that position. He's supervising the retrieval of some of the more high-profile units. In his absence, I keep things running smoothly.
Justin.
Yes, what is it?
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Dr. Ayo.
Yes, what it... Yes, what do you need?
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth returns to duty with no memory of its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
I hear we're about to get a new food supplement.
You're here. Glad you made it.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
Carry on, sir.
Father's work has been a real inspiration for me. Please don't get any germs on me.
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Power demand jumped another 5% this year.
Hi, Doc.
It's a real juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems. You know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution. That's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, by the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some stuff I need to check on. See you around, yeah?
Dr. Thompson.
You know, I love my work, but I love being a father even more.
All systems nominal.
Now, Alan, it could have been anything. It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system. The fine motor control software could use an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, perhaps. But her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it means.
If you're about to launch into one of your passionate speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul?
Feels like this project has been going on for months.
This is a living person by every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Bay, you know that I will tell you.
Just a moment. I never said that. I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that.
Hello. Welcome. Please, step this way for processing.
All occupations are important. But I tend to think of robotics as the first among equals.
Dr. Loken, we received a work order from SRB.
What do they need?
They're requesting replacement coursers again. Quite a few, actually.
Hello.
I guess they lost a whole unit of
Please,
service.
step this way for
Some
processing.
sort of joke. This is the third time this month. Dr. Ayo can't keep using my synth so recklessly. I refuse to give him any more.
Should I tell him that?
I'll have it. I wouldn't wish dealing with that man on my worst enemy.
All this must be a little overwhelming for you.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
Another lovely day, isn't it?
Hello. Welcome. Please, step this way for processing.
Dr. Loken. We've received a work order from SRB.
What do they need?
They're requesting replacement courses again. Quite a few, actually. I guess they lost a whole unit on the surface.
Is this some sort of joke? This is the third time this month. Dr. Ayo can't keep using my synth so recklessly. I refuse to give him any more.
Should I tell him that?
No, I'll handle it. I wouldn't wish dealing with that man on my worst enemy.
Hey, Doc.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third-generation synths are a true breakthrough. The culmination of centuries of research. It's no exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every way to human beings.
What makes them superior?
The list of improvements is exhaustive. I can talk for an hour and still not cover all of it. Imagine what you could accomplish if you could live without fear of hunger or disease. Imagine what you could create if you could spend every waking moment of your life as you saw fit, with no need of sleep. Like I said, a momentous time.
Max.
The synths aren't just Father's legacy. They're his gift to humanity.
Mankind redefined. Catchy, isn't it?
See that report from facilities? A couple of their Gen 1s were trying to walk into walls. Sounds like a pathfinding bug to me.
Yes, I've seen the same thing myself a time or two. I made a note to look into it when there's time.
Very well. I'll leave it in your capable hands.
Doc.
Ah, it's you. You're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here. They, of course, couldn't be told of your identity, and they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and Institute interests, most of which I designed myself. Not to make problems for you, though. Will you be staying with us, then?
What's it to you?
Oh, forgive me. I realize... Well, I understand that's somewhat personal. It would just mean a great deal to Sean. If you require anything, especially as it pertains to synths, please let me know.
Doctor.
Today is full of possibilities. The synths are treating you well, I hope? I don't know if you've noticed, but I've increased synth responsiveness by 0.04%.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Hey, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward.
As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Dr. Fillmore.
Hey. What's on your mind?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine. Do we really need all these coursers roaming the halls?
Greetings, sir. Welcome to the commissary. Would you care for food?
I'll take a look, sure.
Three levels of approval. Do you believe that? 3!
That's it. Sweet. Nice. Got it. Nice. That's it.
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone! Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan, and if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the Coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right. Most men lack the patience to observe and document plant growth.
Hi, Doc.
Yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't a good time.
If you're busy, that's one thing, but I don't care for your tone.
My tone? There's no need to take offense. As you can clearly see, I'm deeply involved in some rather complicated mental equations. Now, how about I get back to those, and you get back to whatever it is you're doing?
Equations for what?
Honestly, you wouldn't understand them. Now, I'm afraid I must end this little chat, although it's been so very diverting.
Isaac.
I'm sorry, but I'm too preoccupied for chit-chat. Please resist any urge you might feel to eat the specimens in the hydroponic garden.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Dr. Holdren.
Good to see you again. Did you need something?
Is there anything I can do to help out?
There might be. Tell you what, you get settled in and check back with me later. I'll see what I can find out.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results. You wouldn't happen to have a spare polarizer on you, would you?
Hi.
I can't imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare.
Spend enough time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.
Dr. Higgs.
What others call complaining, I call critical thinking and challenging assumptions.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Why can't a synth be a person too? I don't really see the difference.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
In case anyone didn't mention it, quiet time runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Father has
Well,
accomplished so much.
That was productive.
I hope you can appreciate his work as we do. Oh, for goodness sake, I can't find my notes anywhere. Hi.
Huh?
Hi, Doc.
Since you're new here, you should take time to learn our safety procedures. And the sooner the better. Rules create order, and order promotes efficiency.
How many rules are we talking about here?
Not nearly enough, if you ask me. I had some handbooks made up, but that was years ago. I'll see about getting one to you.
Sounds good.
Take care, then.
I used to
Child
work
synth
exclusively
prototype
on the
may
synth
truly
projects,
be
but
the key to
lately
our
I
future.
prefer less animated pursuits.
Dr. Watson.
Rushed work is sloppy at best and deadly at worst.
Not everything you've heard about the Institute is true. Give us a chance.
You all know that Dr. Thompson
Yes?
from Facilities has expressed concerns about our power consumption.
Here we go again.
We're not violating any protocols. We're well within approved operating parameters. I checked.
I'm aware of that. Nevertheless, we're going to have to cut back. I'll have a complete rationing plan ready soon, but in the meantime, I need you to make cuts anywhere you can.
This is going to set us back by days, maybe more.
I know it won't be easy, but we'll have to make do. That's all for now.
Dr. Thompson, I know we're not that close, but may I
Safety
ask
first.
a favor of you?
Sure, of course.
Both Allie and myself are working late tonight. Now, normally it's not a big deal. Quentin is mostly self-sufficient, but it's the third night in a row.
Say no more. He can come over and have dinner with us. I'm sure the girls will be thrilled.
It's not too much trouble?
No trouble at all. Just come by when you're finished.
I wish I had more time to
In
spend
case
with
anyone
Quentin,
didn't mention it,
I
quiet
can't be in
time
two
runs from
places at
10
once.
p.m. to 6 a.m.
We haven't been able to crack that one yet. Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah?
Doc.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics, and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
What kinds of blueprints?
Mostly components for a new plasma pistol concept I've been toying with. High-energy weapons are sort of a hobby of mine. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us.
Rosalind.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do.
This is day 8 of Trial 6. The last week has been very productive but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Benet has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean. None of his memories are in there. That, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence. If I were slightly more arrogant, I might consider that a sign of success.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Excuse me, Dr. Lee?
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I wasn't aware that I needed authorization.
Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but this is still my laboratory. If you plan to stay down here with us, you need to learn how things work.
What are you working on?
There's no getting rid of you, is there? You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
You're the scientist. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, let's see. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrives in the Commonwealth. You find a way to intercept our teleport signal, and now you show up at my door. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lyons let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help? Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
One
Where
day,
are you going?
I'll design a more efficient reactor
thought you
to
wanted
replace
to
that
talk.
old clunker in the basement.
Dr. Lee.
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I'm new around here.
You must think I'm some kind of idiot. Father may have given you the keys to the castle, so why don't you just run along?
Fine. I'll come back later.
So you can interrupt me twice? No thanks. You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already...
I'm not here for any reason in particular.
That's a load of crap, and we both know it. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrived. I knew it was just a matter of time. I've been looking over my shoulder.
I'm only here with good intentions. You have my word.
You're giving me your word, even though we just met? Fine. Since I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never... Say what you came here to say.
Are you happy here?
You'd think, being surrounded... Only problem is the lack of transparency. What does that have to do with...
You should return to the Brotherhood.
Even if I wanted to return to them, why would they want me back?
The Brotherhood valued your presence, and we'd like you to come back.
Well, how sweet of them. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
Are there any other options?
That's my offer. Take it or leave it.
No.
Then we have nothing more to say to each other. Now, if you'll please get out of my way, I have a lot of work to do. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
It's really exciting having you here.
Dr. Lee.
I can't wait to
I
see what you
thought
can
I was
do.
clear. Bring me the evidence, and I'll consider returning to the Brotherhood. Where are you going? I thought you wanted to talk.
Sleep is such a waste of time. I'd rather be designing more efficient plasma emitters.
Doctor.
I thought I was clear. Bring me the evidence, and I'll consider returning to the Brotherhood.
No.
Then we have nothing more to say to each other. Now, if you'll please get out of...
If you ask me, we're only scratching the surface with the latest synths.
I hope you and Father try to make up the time you've lost. Family is important.
You smell like you've been above ground.
Good to see you.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like you?
We'd advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records and my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
I don't need a synth. I found the real Sean.
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. In some ways, the synth is far closer to what you expected. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Sean.
I couldn't be more proud of what we've achieved.
Sean.
This truly is a wonderful place, isn't it?
So much research, so little time.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.
I used to work exclusively on the synth projects, but lately I prefer less animated pursuits.
Sleep is such a waste of time. I'd rather be designing
Dr.
more
Lee.
efficient plasma.
I thought I
emitters.
was clear. Bring me the evidence, and I'll consider returning to the Brotherhood. Where are you going? I thought you wanted to talk.
In case anyone didn't mention it, quiet time runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.